Hi guys, so this is a continuation video in relation to how you can be the best early childhood educator. In my last video, I looked at being proactive in relation to being the best early childhood educator. So this is a continuation video. Next, I'm going to talk about understanding the children's behavior. Yes, for you to be the best early childhood educator, you have to be able to understand the children's behavior. You need to understand that all behavior is communication. Yes, you need to understand that all behavior is communication. So if a child in your early childhood classroom present with a behavior telling you something, and you're not just going to say, well, it's one of those things, the child is crying, they want your attention, that's why they are crying. No, you need to investigate this further. What is this telling you about the child? For instance, if this is the first time or few times that the child is presenting with this behavior, you're not going to say, well, the child is seeking attention. As I said earlier, all behavior is communication. It's telling you something about the child. You need to be able to investigate this further. Who do I need to talk to? To talk to other team members, you need to talk to the room leader, you need to talk to the supervisor, you need to talk to the manager, you need to talk to the parent. If a child is availing of other services, this is where you have to discuss with the multidisciplinary teams. What are the things that you've observed about the child? Document this. This is important. So when you're meeting with them, you're not just going to say, well, on top of my head for the past few days, this is what I observe about the child. Understand that you need to present the evidence. What date are we talking about? What time are we talking about? During which activity, during which segment of the room? So you need to be able to relate this to the people that need to know, the multidisciplinary team. So you need the evidence to back this up. So this is what I observe about Florence on Monday, at so time on Tuesday, on Wednesday. So you're presenting your evidence. This is what we call fact. You're not just going into the meeting, who have observed this a couple of times. Which day and month and year and time that you observed that, you need to be able to present the evidence. So it's important when you observe a behavior in your early childhood classroom, it's telling you something, it's communicating something about the child, and you need to be able to investigate this further. So even in relation to, you need to understand that they could do this through their non-verbal communication. So in relation to communication, you need to understand that we have verbal and non-verbal communication. For instance, a child arrives in the morning frowning their face. It's telling you something. You're not just going to say, well, it's one of those moments. Florence is always like this every morning. It's telling you something about Florence. So you're going over to Florence. I hope you're okay. Florence might be able to tell you what's actually wrong with her. Instead of you saying, well, I'm busy this morning, I don't have the time to talk to Florence. It's okay. She doesn't want to come to preschool. Says who? You need to be able to investigate this further if it's happening all the time every morning. So it's not a time for you to keep quiet. Is one of those moments, I can't deal with this, they should sort this out at home. So if this happens every morning, it's a time for you to speak to the child's parent, talk to them. If this is continuous as well, you're talking to your room leader, what you've observed, your supervisor, your manager, the multidisciplinary team, you're taking this up. You're not just saying it's one of those moments. So it's important that you understand that all behavior is communication, is telling you something about the child, and you're not just ignoring this. You're not understand that you might be the child savior. This is something that you need to understand. You might be the child savior. There's something happening to the child. You observe this, you're taking this further. You might be the best person that is going to save the child, or it might be telling you something about the child that the parents are not aware of, and because of you, they might want to investigate this further. Is this the result of the child maybe has a challenging behavior that needs the multidisciplinary team to set in? Is it because the child is, and it's that the parent might not be aware of, but because of what you've observed, they're taking this further. They want to investigate it. So it's important that you understand that all behavior is communication, is telling you something, and don't just ignore the behavior that the child presents with. You have to understand your behavior to safeguarding, your behavior to protecting the young children. So you need to understand that you have a role to play. For you to be the best early childhood educator, you have to be able to protect the children. Let them feel love when they come to you. Let them feel safe when they come to you. And you need to understand that the children depend solely on you. We're talking about children from birth to 6 or birth to 8, that they might not be able to take decision on their own. So for guiding them, protecting them, they have somebody that that yes, they can't protect themselves, but they have somebody that can actually protect them. A child comes to tell you something that is happening, you need to understand that you have a role to play. You have a role, child, and you're not just ignoring whatever the child says to you. You're taking this further. Understand policies in relation to safeguarding. Who do you have to report to if you have a concern about the child? Designated liaison person. Designated liaison person is the person that you report to if you have about the child, you have child protection issues about the child. This is the person that you have to report to, and they can take this further. Like I said, it's important that you have evidence to back this up. How long has this been going on for? Is this something that the child has been telling you consistently? You're documenting this. You have the evidence you understand what policy says in relation to safeguarding the child. This is something that you have to go and find out yourself. What are the policies in place in relation to safeguarding the child? You're reading these policies. You're familiarizing yourself with these policies. How do you go about this? Who do you have to talk to? You're making your research. You're reading the policies. Which one thing you need to understand that policies might be a bit handful, but you have a role to play to understanding this policy, taking your time to understand what this policy is all about. In case of safeguarding issues, how do you have to go about it? Who do you have to protect the child? So now I'm sure you understand how you can be the best early childhood educator. If you know of early childhood educator can actually be the best in relation to their role, please leave this in the comment below. Like I always say, here to learn myself, and I'm sure subscribers also want to learn. So please leave this in the comment below, and do not forget to subscribe. Subscription is free, and not just only subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that whenever a new video is being dropped on this channel, yes, you'll be the first person to be notified. And until I come your way next time, stay safe and mind yourselves for now. Bye.